kayak fishing winter is about way more than just having enough insulation on your inner layers. Don't get me wrong, layering is critical, but there's a couple other things, a couple other tricks that are going to help you be able to stay warm and functional, because if you're cold, you actually start to lose the ability to do the things you need to do to be successful out there and catch some fish. So obviously the dry suit is critical. These have the boot foot, the booty foot that you put the boots over. Now this is a trick that I've just started doing recently. 20 some years ago and fishing in the winter, and I'm still learning stuff. We're in the wash house. I'm letting that run till it gets as hot as it can, and I'm gonna stick it under there. The reason for it, this is a neoprene liner. Still a little bit damp and chilly from going the other day. But what it's gonna do, if I didn't do this, I'm putting hot water that's gonna soak into the neoprene. Yes, my feet will be a little bit warm for a while, but I'm going to drive to where I'm fishing. And basically, it's going to prevent this when I get my feet in the water, which I'm going to launch. Yeah, it's getting hot. It prevents the inevitable situation of this neoprene liner soaking up 40-degree water and holding it against my feet. It's already pre-warmed. It's a steal from from surfers who wear neoprene, the whole suit is neoprene. They will pre-warm those and put them on. Sometimes they just pee in them. I'm not peeing in my boots. Alright, that one's ready. Watch out, cat. And this one I've already filled a couple times. I will make note that these boots, normally I wear size 13.5 or 14. Can you see that? 15. So I get a size bigger because it leaves room in there for my toes to really feel like they got room, but it creates an air pocket that's bigger than I'd normally have. And insulation and the warmth that you gain from the insulation is really just a function of how much air. And if you compress all of the double layer of socks and everything else in too small of a boot, or even a normal size boot, you're diminishing how much air surrounds your foot. But this pre-warming the boot, getting that neoprene, pre-warmed, feels good for a while. And but more than anything, it prevents the sort of soaking in of cold water, and then the hours of holding that cold water against your dry suit and the socks. It works. Give it a shot. Got a late start today. That's okay. Most of my bites this time of year have come, late into the afternoon. So that's okay. These will help. leaving the window open as you get closer to where you're going to be makes it so that you sort of acclimate to the temperature you're going to be in. Otherwise, if you stay nice and warm and toasty the whole way there, you get there, you put your dry suit on, and you sweat it up, which is probably the worst thing you can do, is to sweat up a dry suit. Get used to being a little bit chilly as you get close. So the biggest thing today that is, I say problematic, is the wind. You know, the actual water temperature hasn't gone down. You know, we're not in the upper 30s yet. We're still, you know, solidly in the 40s. But the wind is absolutely, I think we have gusts in the upper 20s for sure. And I can see it. It's white capping out there. So these little hand warmers really do help. You gotta shake them up to get them going. I'll show you real quick. I actually layer gloves. I've started doing this. This is the NRS Skeleton glove, and it's designed for, you know, SPF, keeping the sun off you in the summer. But I've found in conjunction, that's the wrong size, or the wrong half. In conjunction with these fleece fingerless ones, these are, you know, you can get them from Bass Pro Shops. There's a Glacier glove, makes a nice one, fleece fingerless. You take that little packet and slide it in between there, and it's amazing what that put on the back side of your hand will do to keep your fingers functional once you're out there in that cold wind. On the backs of my hands aren't the only place I'm going to put these. Taking them and shoving them down the pant leg, you know, just down on each side. Make sure you shake them up real good. Really does help. Get them down there as far as you can, because it's your lower extremities that, you know, really get cold. I always, when I do this, I always sort of feel like, I don't know. You ever seen a snake get out of its skin? It's sort of the opposite of that. You gotta wriggle into it the way that snakes will shed their skin, just the other way around. Most important part, gotta make sure that's zipped all the way. Yep, good. Time to put the life jacket on and start carrying stuff down to the water. Alright, it is off awfully blustery out here. I got the wind in my face. I got a extra fleece neck gaiter. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that on there. It's also something you can put a one of the hot little hand warmers inside that and really warm up. I haven't done that yet, but I wanted to take a minute and talk about basically fueling your own furnace. There's part of staying warm when you're fishing in cold weather. It relates to the things you put on you, but I do want to talk about the things you put in you. And I've packed a lot of calories. I got peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I've got some sardines. I got some trail mix. But what I really want to start with, maybe it's not the best choice, but I'm gonna fuel up with this donut, because who doesn't love donuts? Donuts are the best. Krispy Kreme. Alright, enough screwing around. Let's work on the next thing that's going to help keep me warm. And I mean this in all seriousness. Once you catch a fish, you're no longer cold. I guarantee it. Best way to stay warm. Actually, not doing that bad, but occasionally it's good to crack open the thermos of hot water. I use water instead of coffee or tea or even hot cocoa. Because the other ones, they have caffeine that is going to make you pee, and when you pee a lot, you're interrupted from fishing for sure. But you're breaking the seal of the warmth that you've built up inside the dry suit, and it's not that bad. When you have a relief zipper, you don't lose that much heat. If you go the waders route, and you're asking for trouble anyways. But for sure, you're taking off your life jacket, and that's an issue, unless you go to shore. And you're pulling things down, and all that heat escapes your this little bubble that you've warmed up, and it keeps you warm. I like the water, just to hold on to it, and that allows my fingers to warm back up and keeps me hydrated.